Look, if you're an entrepreneur, you're broke, and you need to make some money this month, this video is for you. All right. I'm going to give you one of the simplest things you can do right now. Be ready to take notes. And guess what? It is super simple. Hosting a private dinner. I'm serious. You don't need to create a course. You don't need to build a website. You don't need to run Facebook ads, right? You ain't got no money. So how you going to do that? You don't need thousands of followers. You don't even need to have a product to sell. All you need is access to a restaurant, access to a table, and about 8 to 12 people sitting around it. And I'm going to show you how you could potentially turn one dinner into an extra $3,000, $5,000 this month. All right. This is something I've actually been doing for close to a year now, and it's completely changed the way I think about networking and building business. All right. So if you're ready, grab pen and paper and get set up to grab some notes, and let's make this happen. For years, right? 10, 15 entrepreneurs have been taught to network backwards, right? We ask, what events should I attend? Okay. What conference should I go to? Who do I need to meet? But I started asking a completely different question. Who should I bring together? That question changed everything. Because when you're the person bringing people together, it's different. You don't have to fight for attention in somebody else's room. You own your room. You decide who's invited. You decide the experience you want them to have. You decide a conversation you want to have. And you become the connector. That to me is incredibly valuable. And here's the crazy part. You can start doing this with almost no upfront investment. Zip, none at all. So let me show you exactly what I would do if I was you, if I was in your current situation and you trying to get out of it. All right. First, make sure you got your pen and paper ready or your notepad. I don't know. Pick a date. That's it. Don't spend 3 weeks thinking about the perfect restaurant or the perfect scenery. Don't create no damn logo. Don't try to build a freaking website. Don't go and create some damn LLC. Just pick a date. All right. You may be wondering, okay, why would I tell you to do that? I usually like dinners done during the week. So pick a date for your dinner, right? Something like a Wednesday or Thursday, right? Evening. We're talking around 6:30 to 8:30 or 7:30 to 9:30 or 7 to 9. Give yourself about 2 to 4 weeks to fill the room. All right. Now you have something real. Okay. Let's say Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Private dinner, 10 seats. We're in business. That's it. Just start there. Okay. Don't try to overcomplicate this. Don't try to overthink any of this. All right. Just start right there. Next, I want you to create a simple RSVP page. There's a tool called Posh. I'll drop my affiliate link in the bottom. You can use platform like Posh and another event ticketing platform. You don't need some complicated funnels. All right. You can get that up and running in less than 24 hours. Your page needs to answer a few basic questions. That's it. Who is this dinner for? When is it? What type of people will be in the room? All right. What's included? Simple. And how do I reserve my seats? Okay. That's pretty much it. We're not going to complicate anything here. Then what you want to do is very important. Charge for the dinner. Depending on the audience and experience, you want to charge for access, right? So this is why we want to invite entrepreneurs or business owners. Maybe that's $97 or $47 or $147 or $197. Let's say you have 10 people at $147 each. That's $1,470 in ticket revenue alone before you sold a product or service, before you pitch anybody, right? You're simply creating an experience people want to attend. That's it. Okay. Do not complicate this thing. I like to keep things super simple. Right? Like they say, kiss, keep it simple. Now, here is where most people overcomplicated this. You don't need 10,000 Instagram followers. You do not need to be influencers. Check my Instagram. I got less than 5,000 subscribers. You need about 50 people who can potentially be a good fit for the dinner. All right. You can get those 50 people several ways. Your cell phone, LinkedIn, your email contact, CRM, your neighborhood, right? Google, right? Your phone, your Facebook connections, people you met at conferences, at other events, people you've been meaning to reconnect with, right? Business owners, entrepreneurs, investors. If you don't know anybody, just Google people in the local area. You could definitely find some. Build a list of 50 business owners, entrepreneurs, executive investors, whatever niche you're targeting. And here's an important part of what we teach, because I have something called Dinner Host Academy where we literally break this whole thing down. Don't just invite anybody with a credit card. You want to curate the room. That means you select who you want to be in that room, because the quality of your dinner comes from the quality of the guests. All right. Very important. 10 random people eating steak isn't a business strategy. You want people thinking, I need to be in that room. I got to do this. This is amazing. Once you have that down pat, Then the next step is you want to start personally inviting people. And what I mean, you're sending them text, you're sending DM, you're sending email. Don't make this complicated either. You don't need some crazy sales script or some, printouts, invitation. No, super simple. Hey, John, I'm putting together a small private dinner for about 10 entrepreneurs like yourself here in Atlanta. That should be a great fit for the room. Want me to send you details? That's it. Super simple. You're not trying to close them in the first message. You just want to get the right people in the room, creating that experience for them. You're starting a conversation. If they're interested, send them the RSVP link, then keep going, right? So send it to them, boom, they sign up, you're ready to rock and roll. You might invite 50 people, maybe 20 respond, and then you have 10 that actually buy a ticket, right? If they don't buy a ticket, they're not coming into that room. Boom, you have a dinner. You have the space, you have the date, you have the people. Now, the next step is you want to get somebody else to pay for their dinner. This is where it gets super interesting. This is what I call the second revenue stream, sponsors. Think about business that want access to these exact people you're inviting, right? Let's say, insurance agents, banks, law firms, right? They work with business owners, accounting firms, software company, insurance companies, etc. Right. So these business service providers, they work with other business owners. So keep it local and ask yourself this question. Who wants relationship with the people sitting at my table? Then approach those companies about sponsoring the dinner. Maybe the sponsorship is $1,000 or $2,000. Maybe it's $2,500. Maybe it's $5,000. As you build your audience and you're doing these dinners consistently and you're becoming more established, you have the right people in the room and you can charge more. Now, let's look at what potentially happens. You sell 10 tickets at about $147 a piece. So that's $1,470, right? You secure a $2,500 sponsor from one of the business services. Now you have generated about $3,970 in gross revenue. You pay for dinner and your other expenses, all right? Let's say that's about, depends on your cost. You potentially created a few, $1,000 from one event. Guess what? That's before we even talk about what happens after the dinner. This is where it gets even more exciting. And I'm being real with you. This is where most of the money happens, right? People don't think about this because here's what I discovered from hosting several dinners and having a community of dinner hosts. The ticket revenue isn't necessarily the biggest opportunity. It's the relationship. I've had dinners lead to clients, referrals, strategic partnerships, sponsors, introductions, business opportunities, things that I would never imagine I have access to, and friendships. Think about it. You're sitting across the table from 10 business owners for 2 hours. You're eating some delicious meal together, talking, learning about each other, learning about their businesses, finding out what they're working on, okay? Finding out what problems they're trying to solve, right? That's completely different from somebody seeing your Facebook ad. Don't get me wrong, we run Facebook ads. There's trust being built, and it's being built quickly. And you don't have to stand up at the end of the dinner and say, everybody, pull out your credit cards. We're going to split this. We're going to do Zelle it. No, we ain't got to do any of that. Don't do that. You don't need to pitch anything. The whole purpose of the dinner is to create the relationship first. The business can happen naturally afterward. Think about it. They spend 2 hours getting to know you. You get to know them. You learn about their kids. You learn about their lives outside of business, right? Like you're building a real relationship. Now you might be thinking, Julbert, what if I don't have anything to sell? That is okay. Start with the dinner. Build the community, okay? Become the connector, all right? Because here's something entrepreneurs underestimate. Access is valuable. Proximity is valuable. If you consistently bring the right people together, eventually businesses will want access to your audience. Sponsors will want to participate. People will want introductions. Companies will want partnership. Okay, you can figure out the monetization as you go, right? And honestly, in our community, there's about 7 different ways to monetize one dinner. But first, I want you right now where you are to build the home. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do to you to really help you get this thing going, right? If I needed to generate additional income over the next 30 days, here's exactly what I'll do. And guess what? I have a dinner at the end of this month. Today, pick a day. Tomorrow, create the RSVP, right? And you can see the link below you can use for that. Day 3, build a list of 50 people. Once you join a community, you know exactly what to say, how to build that list. Day 4, start sending invitation. Okay, we break all that down in the community. You see the link below so you can definitely take advantage of it. Then every day, invite more people, follow up until you have 8 to 12 people sign up for your dinner. At the same time, you want to build a list of about 20 potential sponsor partners. Okay, start those conversations early with them. Guess what? Tell them who you're bringing together. That's what the value is. Tell them why you're doing it. and offer them an opportunity to be part of the experience. Okay. We're not selling this to them. We have the people that you need to talk to. So you got to be in the room. Then you host an incredible dinner. That's the business. You don't need to wait 6 months to do this. You can literally start this today, like right after this video. All right. Now, you're probably wondering, you might have a bunch of questions, right? Why this actually works? Well, guess what? We're living in a very interesting time right now. Everybody's trying to build an audience online. You got AI everywhere, more followers, more impression, right? More views, more whatever, AI generated content. And you know what's happening in the background? There's an enormous opportunity offline. And this is what I want you to take advantage of. Small curated rooms, 8 to 10 people, nothing crazy, maybe 12 max, the right people around the right table. I would rather have dinner with 10 people who can change my business than get 10,000 random views on an Instagram reel that went viral. And that's why I've become so obsessed with private dinners. I host them every single month. I teach others how to do the same. And if you want to join our community, there's a link in the bottom. Click the link, try it out for 7 days for free. So here's my challenge to you. Before you click another video, open your calendar, pick a date within the next 30 days. Then write down the names, the first 10 people you want sitting around your table. Don't worry about having everything put together. Don't worry about that. Start with the room, because sometimes the fastest way to create an opportunity is to create the place where opportunities can happen. And if you're thinking, okay, Julbert, I like this idea, but I want to know exactly how to pick the right niche, fill the seats, get sponsors, price the dinner, follow up with guests, and turn these dinners into an actual business. That's exactly what I teach inside Dinner Host Academy. I'll put the link, the information, like I mentioned, it's going to be in the comments. It's going to be in the description. And if you're not ready for that yet, that's okay. Start with your first dinner. Go make some money. Get 8 to 12 people around the table in your city, in your town, host a room, build relationships, then do it again and again and again. If you're into entrepreneurship, building relationship, creating additional income stream, and building businesses differently, subscribe to our channel, like this video, share it with anybody that you think can benefit from it, because I'm going to be able to share a lot more about this. See you in the next one. Thank you for jumping on.